four basic parameters are most descriptive of mechanical ventilation: pressure, volume, flow, time. These parameters are plotted against each other to reflect changes associated with changes in pathology of the lungs. The amount of pressure required to inflate the lungs depends on the lung compliance and airway resistance. If the lungs are very compliant and easy to inflate, not much pressure is required. If the lungs are very stiff, more pressure is needed to inflate them. With airway resistance, the most important factor affecting the degree of resistance is the diameter of the airways. The flow of gas into the lungs depends on the difference between the pressure from the power source, the ventilator, and the pressure inside the lungs. The greater the pressure gradient, the higher the flow of gas and the sooner the lungs fill. Flow is measured as a volume change per unit of time, where time represents the inspiratory time. The volume delivered depends on the amount of flow and the set duration of inspiration. Increased inspiratory flow rate decreases inspiratory time and allows for a longer expiratory time. If the flow rate decreases, the inspiratory time increases and the expiratory time decreases. Increased inspiratory flow rate decreases inspiratory time and allows for a longer expiration time. The inspiratory time can be calculated by dividing the delivered tidal volume by the inspiratory flow rate. Pressure plotted on the pressure time scalar are calculated from the known parameters of Rao and compliance, the inspiratory flow rate, and the delivered tidal volume. Once the gas molecules reach the alveolar region, more pressure is required to deliver a given tidal volume to the lungs against the recoil force of the alveoli. This pressure is known as alveolar pressure. Since the pressure is obtained from an inspiratory hold or plateau. Scalars, a mechanical breath in a graphical format, can be viewed in 6 stages: beginning of inspiration, inspiration, end of inspiration, expiration, end of expiration. Flow versus time scalar. In AC mode, the ventilator delivers a constant flow throughout the inspiratory phase and a square wave tracing. In SIMV, the mechanical breath has the same characteristics as in the assisted ventilation. For the spontaneous cycles, inspiration flow is shown as a positive deflection and the expiratory flow as a negative contour. Since the pressure control mode is time-cycled mode, the inspiratory flow continues to taper down throughout inspiratory phase and may reach zero flow at or before insp. Time. Volume versus time scalar. In AC mode, the flow rate is constant. The volume is delivered in fixed increments per unit time, resulting in a straight line tracing. Volume delivery ends when the set tidal volume is reached. In the SIMV, the characteristics of the mechanical breaths are identical to those in the assisted ventilation. As a result of a pressure-supported breath, the spontaneous volume will increase. The patient is now initiating only one breath between 2 mechanical cycles. Pressure versus time. AC at the beginning of inspiration, the gas flow experiences the frictional resistance of the airways. SIMV, spontaneous breaths are represented by a negative deflection during inspiration and positive deflection during exhalation. Pressure control: the baseline returns to zero since the PEEP was eliminated.